welcome back. It's so good to see you. So today we are going to be looking at my Marine Corps yearbook. I think it was sometime last year or something, I made a video talking about my Marine Corps boot camp experience. And when I made that video, I went looking for my yearbook, and I could not find it anywhere. Nowhere this thing could be found, and I wanted it because it was going to help me try and remember some things that we did at boot camp. Well, my husband was pulling some books out from his closet, and his military, he's got this military box with military stuff in it, and my daughter was like, ooh, what's in there? And so they opened it up, and what was in there? My Marine yearbook. I was like, oh my gosh, I was looking for this thing. I had no idea where it went. I thought it was gone. I was thinking maybe it got destroyed during a flood or something. I don't know, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yes, we're gonna have to go through it and just take a look. Now, I did go through and put little post-its over people's names just because, I don't know, I just didn't want to just put people's names out there. Now, the drill instructors' names, I didn't cover them up because they were drill instructors for years and years and years, so their names are all over the place, everywhere. But this book came out the pictures at the front of the book are not pictures of our platoon or anything like that. They're just generic pictures of previous platoons and stuff like that. It just shows the training and stuff. The pictures of our platoons are in the back, but there's not that many, and they're in black and white. How come everybody else got color but we got black and white? But anyway, I am in this little yearbook 3 times, but you can barely even see me. But the reason why I want to tell you that is because the pictures, when I was in the Marines, we were the first platoon to get the digi-camo, the digi-camis. All military now, it's the digital camo print. Before, it was not like that. So the beginning pictures are going to be in the old uniform. So just know that. But let's go ahead and open it up. I'm going to try and get everything to be able so you can see it. Okay, now this is Parris Island, South Carolina, but this is aerial. I don't know, and this is just a section of it. I can't recognize anything, and I think this picture is very old before they built up, because there's much more stuff there, and then of course they have to tell you who's in charge at the time, boring. No one cares about that. Okay, this is the main gate. This is where you enter and exit. So this is basically a terrifying experience going this way, and a freedom experience going this way. This is something called the swamp, and it's an island, so it's surrounded by water, I don't know what this is. I guess this is what you see when you first go in. I got there in the middle of the night, at 2 o'clock in the morning, so we couldn't see anything. History of Parris Island. Maybe we can read this another time. There is a museum there, but I actually never went to the museum, so yeah. I've been to the chapel before. I definitely have gone to the medical clinic and the dental because, you know, you definitely hurt yourself. There's the combat training pool. That was like the best and the worst, because it's like, oh, it's a pool, you know, but recruit barracks. Yes, very familiar. This actually looks like mine, and like, but the lockers are under the little bed thingy. Ours wasn't like that. Ours was sitting, like, it was, there were two lockers right here out front, and we had to stand on this line. Like, it had to be, and there was the line, you know. Squad bay. Yeah, and everywhere you went, you had to carry this, I don't remember what they called it. Some kind of flag. I can't remember what they called it, but you had to carry this everywhere, and it would tell them, you know, who's out there, who it represents, that kind of thing. We never saw any of this. I saw this, but, you know, arriving at Parris Island, the most terrifying experience ever. But yeah, you get a bus ride there, and you have to immediately run out, and you have to stand on these yellow footprints, where there they are over here, where millions of people stood before. Look at that. Like, this might look okay, but after you graduate, this looks so clumsy and just not good. Receiving. Doesn't matter what time you go to Parris Island. No matter what time. There's no rest. There's no, we'll wait for other people. No. You go through receiving, and this is where you have to do all your paperwork. See them, they're being told about like schooling and how the insurance and paychecks work while they're being yelled at by a drill instructor. And there's nothing but lines everywhere, and you have to run. Oh, it says now is the time to rid yourself of contraband and any items. Yeah, you got to get rid of everything. I mean, your personal items are definitely, back when I went, your personal items are put into a bag and put into storage. So, and then haircuts. And the girls don't have to go through this, but the men do. And then you have to make your phone call home. I don't know if they do this anymore, because my husband was talking to somebody who just graduated from the Army, and they told him that they were allowed to have their actual personal cell phones on Sunday. They just couldn't be caught on it. What? I couldn't believe it. He was just floored. So, and he was like, the kid was complaining because he could only call home once a week, and my husband was like, are you freaking kidding me? And I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. We got 2 phone calls. One phone call. We got this phone call. It says a phone call home to say you arrived and you will be in touch soon. No, you're not. Maybe by letter. Yeah, but that's all you're allowed to say. You have literally like 10 seconds once they pick up the phone. You gotta say, I'm here, I'm safe, bye. That's it. But yeah, and then the next call, there was like this day called like Liberty Day or something, and if you wanted to, you could call them. I went to the grocery store, the PX or whatever they call it there, and I grabbed a payphone and I tried to call my parents. I called them so many times, but they were out. I was so upset. But I did leave a voicemail on their answering machine. A quiet time for thought and to catch a break. You gotta fill out paperwork. Look at these people sleeping. And then initial clothing issue. Yeah, I remember these little cubbies. Yeah, and there's this table. And there's somebody walking on the table yelling at you. Like, come on, idiots, learn how to count. Because you have to get a certain number of certain things, you know. So, but yeah, you have to hold up. Because they need to make sure that you got the right thing. Because they don't want to get in trouble either, you know. Even though they're not really drill instructors, but it's their job to make sure that you get everything. So, yeah. eye test, dental exams. It's just like assembly line for people, you know. Initial strength test. This was done like within the first week or something, and my recruiter made sure that I could pass this thing before I even got there. The initial strength test is just to make sure that you can handle actual boot camp. Like, you have to be able to do, you know, certain things, and if you can't, they won't let you move on with the rest of the platoon. You have to get recycled and do it all over again, and you get like 2 or 3 times, and if you don't pass it, you're out. Your Marine journey is over. Except in this, it looks like see, there's men and women running together. That was not a thing for us. Everything was segregated. But I think now it's like everybody's doing everything together. So, and then the equipment issue. Yeah. Let's see, rifle issue. Oh, here we go. My rifle. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I must master my life. My rifle without me is useless. Without my rifle, I am useless. I must fire my rifle true. I must shoot straighter than any enemy who is trying to kill me. I must shoot him before he shoots me. I will. My rifle and myself know that what counts is this war. In this war is not the rounds we fire, the noise of our burst, nor the smoke we make. We know that it is the hits that count. We will hit. My rifle is human, even as I, because it is my life. Thus I will learn it as a brother. I will learn its weakness, its strengths, its parts, its accessories, its sights, and its barrel. I will keep my rifle clean and ready, even as I am clean and ready. We will become part of each other. We will. Before God, I swear this creed. My rifle and myself are the defenders of my country. We are the masters of our enemy. We are the survivors of the saviors of my life. So be it, until victory is America's, and there is no enemy but peace. I only remember, like, this bit. I don't remember this part. But it's funny, is because you have to say this all the time. But, do you see the letter I in here multiple times? Like, that was the only time you were ever allowed to say I, was in this little creed, or whatever you call it. You're not allowed to say I, you're supposed to say this recruit. Because you're not even a Marine until graduation. You can't say, and then when you go to combat training, you're like, this Marine, you know, and they're like, say I, like, what's wrong with you? But, like, you were drilled to not say that, because you don't exist, you're not a real person, you know. Let's see, barracks life. Recruits adjust to their new environment by having to live with other recruits in open squad bays. This requires teamwork and cooperation between each other, a time to build mind and body for the training that lies ahead. I remember when we met our drill instructors exactly like this. You meet your senior drill instructor and then the other instructor, and it's very intense, very intense. Reporting. Look at this. It says bang 3 times, wait to be recognized. Yeah. You have to do this, and I remember it is with this hand, and like, if you're not recognized, you have to stand there for like ever, and then you have to do it again and do it again. And one of my drill instructors made me do that over and over and over and over and over, and I actually hurt my hand like really bad because I wasn't hitting the door hard enough or something. Whatever you do, it's not good enough. Classes can be held almost anywhere, and that is right. Anywhere you're at, sit down, study. You've got to study, always. Physical training. More PT, sir. More PT. Yep. Oh. I remember this stuff. Like, I actually liked that because these weren't drill instructors. They were like, I mean, these people might be, but like the person who was actually teaching you the training, like outside and doing these things, they were much nicer than the drill instructors. Close order drill. Oh my god, this was the absolute worst. The worst. It looks really cool. We called it poppin' sticks because of the sound that, like, see how he's holding it? You would like pop the rifle and you would like smack it. See how it's smacking his arm? It would make this popping sound. And the gun is like your stick or whatever. It's popping sticks. I liked the sound and the way it looked once you actually got into it, but gosh, that would make you do that for hours, hours, and hours. Awful. But it's all for a reason. You might not get it while you're in it, but there's a reason for everything. Obstacle courses. We did the obstacle course like at the very beginning, and like we all sucked at it. But then towards the end, it's like, this is easy stuff. What was wrong with me? You weren't ready for it. And they do that on purpose to make you feel like you're not good enough. More PT. We gotta do more stuff. Bugle stick training. Oh, that was awful. We did it on a bridge. Yeah, here on the bridge. And we did it against the other platoon, and like I come up and I'm very tiny. I was 5'2" and like 100 pounds. I was so small, and this woman was this big, like she was like a man, and she was very beefy and like scary. Okay, to see her coming towards me, and like I went to go hit, and she took her bugle stick and like she uppercutted me and literally knocked me off of the freaking bridge, and I hit, and like it's like I blacked out for a second because I was like, what just happened? It was terrible. It didn't matter who I was going to go up against though. They would have knocked me off. I was so tiny. Yeah, confidence course. Yeah, later you do the confidence course, which is basically like the obstacle course, but by then you have more training and you're like, wow, this is so easy, and it gives you confidence. It's like a confidence booster so that you know, can start to realize like, hey, I am better than everyone else. Because that's what they do. They tell you that Marines are better than everyone else. So religious services. I did religious services because on Sunday you would get 4 hours, and I think I went to like Catholic religious services or whatever because my family was Catholic. I was never really religious before, but I was like, let's get away from the drill instructors. I did it for a while, and then I was like, wait a minute, I don't need this. So I just spent my time in the squad bay because we would do devotionals like every day, right before bed. And so I was like, I don't need to go to an extra service. I do this stuff every day, you know. So conditioning marches, they're the worst. The worst. One cannot imagine the physical and mental strain of a road march without experiencing it firsthand. Yup. It is an event worth writing home about, but one that culminates with mixed feelings and sore feet. The whole body aches, but the spirit soars with the pride of accomplishment. The road march puts physical fitness to the test and teaches a final lesson to respect and cherish the most valuable pieces of equipment owned by a recruit, the feet. I think we didn't call them road marches. They were called like muck march or something like that. I don't know. Let's see, combat survival training. Yes, this is the pool. This was great, but look at you have to do it in full gear, and it's sucks. But also, I went to boot camp in the middle of summer in South Carolina, it was so hot, so it was like worth it. I was like, yes. Let's see, rappelling. Oh my gosh, I hated rappelling. This thing, like, you could either rappel with this wall or you could rappel on nothing. I hated it. Oh, it was the absolute worst. Gas chamber. Everybody hated the gas chamber, and look, like, this guy's crying, these people are spitting up in a trash can, stuff's coming out this person's nose. Like, it affects people, but that's my stomach growling. Sorry, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today yet. But I was 100% not affected by the gas chamber. Not at all. Like, people would run out basically screaming and puking. They had these trash cans everywhere because it would just make everyone puke, and it was disgusting. But me, I had absolutely no effect. And they got mad at me because I wasn't being affected like everyone else, so they kept making me go through the gas chamber. And they were like, what's your MOS, you know? And they were like, you picked a good one. Okay, this is uniform issue and fit. So this is like when you get your, I think they call them like Class A's, or yeah, Class A uniforms. It's like your fancy pants outfits, you know. But you have to go through multiple fittings because you lose a lot of weight, then you gain muscle, then you lose weight again. So there are 3 different fittings, and they have to constantly adjust them, you know, to your right size. Final drill competition. Now this one, I liked it because by the final drill competition, you know what's up. You know you're gonna do good, except we didn't. We failed it, and we lost to the other platoon because there were 2 platoons in our company. We lost to the other platoon, and the senior drill instructor from the winning platoon said that her platoon actually sucked and we did better, and she couldn't believe that we lost. And the deal was that when you win the final drill competition, you would get a pizza party, and you would get to have a piece of pizza, which was fantastic because, like, that is not a thing. And she came over to our squad bay and was like, you know, you guys did better, so you guys are going to get the pizza party. And that was awful. Like, you're like, yes, pizza, but then you're also like, I feel like crap because we didn't win. We didn't deserve it. And the other platoon had to watch us eat the pizza. It was like a punishment and a reward at the same time. It was the worst. Because we didn't deserve it. We lost. It was awful. Okay, marksmanship training. This is when you go out. This is like called Rifle Week or something. And you get real bullets and you get to shoot your rifle finally. And this week, the drill instructors somehow become much nicer. It's very odd, and I don't know why. Because they don't want to get shot. Range safety week. So, yeah, like, you have to have safety first, and then you get the, you know, your qualifications. And the very first day, what did I get? I shot expert, baby. I was like, yes, but it didn't count because it was the first day. You had 3 days after your safety, whatever. You have 3 days, whatever. But the first day didn't count. It was the last day that counted. You know what I got? Like, I was so excited about this. And then when the actual test day came, I psyched myself out because I started panicking. And what did I get? Sharpshooter. I wasn't really a sharpshooter. I was an expert. But no, everyone saw that I was a sharpshooter because you have to wear these on your uniform. Not cool. Yeah, and this is the qualifications where you learn to shoot and stuff like that. And then you have, we call these like water elephants or something. They had e-water in them, which is just water with electrolytes, because you're outside and it's all gross and meh. But yeah, I actually liked this water. A lot of people complained about it, but I thought it tasted better than the other water. And then cleaning rifles, just awful. Do you see these bunk bed situations over here? When you are out in the field, if you get to stay in, like, I think they call them like sea huts or something, there's no mattress. There's just coils. Like, it's like a fence or something. And you have this little, I can't see one. I'll have to show you if I can see it. But there's this little, like, yoga mat. You put the yoga mat on there, and that's what you get to sleep on. It's awesome. It's so comfortable. And just what you need when you're doing field work, staying up for like 3 days at a time. And then you have team week, which is basically where you have to work on Parris Island doing crap. Like, these people are doing yard work, and these people are doing mess hall duty, and like, it's basically like free labor. You know, you get time away from the drill instructors, which is great, but they're getting free labor, and each week it's a different round of platoons that are doing this stuff. Okay, A-line, I don't remember what this is. Field firing, the recruit encounters more complicated conditions. Of course we do. I don't remember this though. Day and night movement course. Oh yeah. I liked the night ones though, because when we got to shoot our weapons at night, they had like these tracer rounds. They were so cool. You could see them. Oh my gosh. And we did these where you have to go under like barbed wire. Yeah, see, there's barbed wire. I mean, it's only 2 little things, but like there's more. But like you have to go under it. But what happened when I had to do this? Oh, it had been raining all the next day and all that day. So this area was covered in water. So it was just mud and water and just gross. Awesome. Recruits live in sea huts. Yes, this is what I'm talking about when you are doing like the Crucible, or like you're out in the field. You see this little bitty green circle? It's like a yoga mat, but much thinner. That you have to roll out on here and sleep on. I mean, at least they gave you that though, otherwise you could be sleeping on these like coil things. And then the Crucible, let's see, it says 6 major events which require teamwork and problem-solving skills, simulated battle conditions such as resupplying a small unit, and evacuation of injured personnel, and warrior station obstacles. It ends with a 10-mile hike, morning colors ceremony, and a warrior's breakfast. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the whole time you're terrified of this Crucible. It's a 54-hour training evolution, building core values, honor, courage, and commitment. And it's basically just like simulated war things, obstacle courses, that kind of thing. They built it up so much that you were terrified to go to the Crucible. But then when you're at the Crucible, you're like, oh, because it's what you were trained for. So it's like super easy and no big deal. Yeah, it's no big deal. And just all the different events and stuff. So many things. It's like challenges, you know, like stay off red, don't touch the ground. Like, it's kind of fun. Here we go. The emblem ceremony. This is the eagle, globe, and anchor. Is that what it said? No. But this is like, you get your little emblem that you get to put on like your collar. What, I don't remember where it goes. Or maybe you get to put it on your hat. You know, your cover is what we called it. Where's your cover? Put your cover on. But see, there's like a little. Anyway, but look at these people. They're all crying. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing and blah. But like, I never cried, and I mentioned that in my video. I was like, is there something wrong with me? Because like, it says morning colors, emblem ceremony, the first milestone in a Marine career, a day of pride in the knowledge that the formidable accomplishment has been undertaken and achieved. So basically, when you get your little Eagle Globe and Anchor, you are officially a Marine. I mean, not official until you graduate, but that means that you've done it. It's over. You have completed the training. And I can see why people would cry, but by the time you get there and you look back, you're like, that was actually kind of easy. When you're in it, you're like, this sucks. I think that's why they call the Marines the suck, because it sucks. But when you look back and think about what you did, it really wasn't that hard. There's no way I could do it now, but it's your life, so I get the crying thing, but I couldn't. I was like, why are they crying? I just didn't get it. I was just like, do I not have emotions like normal people or what? But in my Marine video, people have commented on there saying, yeah, I didn't cry either. I didn't get it. I didn't see what the big fuss was about. So then I felt better about myself. And then you get this warrior breakfast, which they make it seem like it's going to be a super cool event, because you can eat all the food you want. You can sit wherever you want. You actually, one of my drill instructors sat across the table from me and ate breakfast with me, and I was just like, whoa, this ain't right. But this is a trick. You should not indulge. And it's all the same food that you've eaten. It's not like some major, ooh, we're being treated here. No, it's the same food. It's no big deal. You just get to eat more of it. But it's like, why would you overstuff yourself? It's supposed to be a big deal because you've been eating 2 MREs that's supposed to cover 9 meals. But you only get 2 of them for 3 days. That's what happens in the Crucible. And it's like, okay, oh, real food, right? I didn't actually mind MREs. I liked them. But this is a trick, because after this, they will quarter deck you or send you to the pit, which means that because they're like, oh, you're so cocky now, you're a Marine? Oh, okay, you're still going to the pit, you're still getting quarter decked. It's like they work you out until you puke. So I didn't overeat, so I didn't puke. But it's like that's their goal, is to build you up and then smack you down just one more time, right? And then you have inspections where I don't know what they call it. Does it say? No. But you just have to wear your fancy pants uniforms, and they have to inspect you to make sure that you're wearing them right, you're holding your weapon right, and they can ask you any question about uniform, the military, anything, and you should know it and be able to answer it, So we definitely passed our inspections, but they also do an inspection of the barracks. Barracks, that doesn't sound right. Squad bay. My husband called it barracks, but we called them squad bay. And we did not pass our squad bay inspection. Oh no. Okay, and then after all that, you get to go on the motivational run, which is fantastic. I'm telling you, this is the greatest. This is the best part of the Marines, because the whole time that you're there doing just terrible things, just the Marines sucks, but when you think back, it's all right. But during all this time, you see these platoons doing their motivational run, and whoever gets to do their motivational run, they're the big dogs on campus. They're the ones that are graduating. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. So you have to watch them, and you're like, man, I wish I was them, Sorry. And then when you finally get to do the motivational run yourself, it's so great, because you're like, I'm leaving. because you miss your family. And it really is, it's like hell. It's terrible. It's not the best, but they're training you to be a soldier, so they have to be hard on you, you know. But it sucks sometimes, like real bad, especially when you don't get to talk to anybody that you actually know, you know. So when you see these people run around, you're like, God dang, I want to be them, you know. And then when you finally get to be them, it's the greatest feeling, because you're singing cadence, and it's like, I think we ran like 15 miles. 15 miles. But you don't feel it because you're on such a high, you know. It's great. This is the best. Sorry. But then the second best is Family Day Liberty. Your family gets to come. I think it's like the day before you graduate or something. And you get to see your family. And that's also the best, because you haven't seen them for like 3 months, you know. And I remember, like, I lost my mind because my aunt was supposed to come, and my dad, that's who was coming. My mom wouldn't come because she didn't want to get on a plane. She was scared. And then we go out onto like the parade deck, and it says, okay, go to your families or whatever. And I see my aunt, and I'm very excited to see her because she wrote me so many letters. And she introduced me to her new boyfriend, which was very shocking. She actually ended up marrying him. But then I like freaked out, and I'm sure she was like, okay, but I shoved past her because I saw my mom in the crowd. And I was just so happy. I was so happy. Because I couldn't believe she got on a plane to come see me, you know. It was great. But anyway, and then we went to like the PX, and maybe we went to the, I'm not sure if we went to the museum or not. I don't remember. I don't feel like I went to the museum, but I know that we definitely went to the PX. And then, yeah, it was a good day. But then you have to leave. You have to leave to go back to your squad bay, and it's like, oh, gross, no. But anyway, then it's graduation. Graduation day has finally come. The day everyone has waited for. Some of the recruits that began training never finished. That's true. That is true. A lot of the pictures in the back, those people weren't actually, I don't know how, like, I guess because the yearbook stuff is made before the graduation, because we did not graduate with hardly any people. Like, I think it was like 23, maybe 28 out of, and we started out with like 121 or something like that. Not many people made it. Some could not meet the standards, some were discharged for medical reasons, and others were recycled for training. But those that did complete the training are standing tall. For many, it is their first real achievement in life. I don't know if I was standing tall. I was just like, okay, we did the motivational run. That was great. We saw the family. That was great. I want to get the F out of here. Just, ugh. I hated it. I was like, I don't care about any of this. I just want to go. And then there's a reception. It says, for family and friends, it is a day of celebration and reunion and a day of discovery. It says, for the young persons that said goodbye, is now a confident Marine trained in the skill of a professional. And my aunt did say, she was like, it seemed like I was a totally different person. But a lot of the, not recruits because they're Marines now, but a lot of the Marines that were in my platoon, they were like, let's go introduce this drill instructor to my parents. I was like, no, you're not meeting nobody. Let's go. I don't think so. Because, yes, I wanted to leave immediately. I did not care about saying bye to anybody. I was like, no, 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 no. And then you get to go. It was the best. It was the absolute best. Okay, and then here are the pictures of the people. This is my senior drill instructor, Gunnery Sergeant Toledo. She was the most badass Marine I have ever met in my life. Like, she could beat the men at anything. She was actually the best. And then we have drill instructor Staff Sergeant Barnes. She actually got a promotion during our time in boot camp, and instead of just taking her promotion like, no big deal, because it's not really a big deal to get a promotion, she wanted them to do the whole ceremony thing in our squad base so that we could see what it looked like to get a promotion. Like, she used it as a learning thing. She was the best drill instructor, and I guarantee you, after this, she became a senior drill instructor. She was the best. Staff Sergeant Romero, she sucked. I could care less about her. There's another drill instructor, Sergeant Sinner. She is not in here because she got removed from our platoon for abusing the recruits. But look at all these. Don't they all look the same? They all look the same. Did you see me? Did you see me? No, you didn't, because I'm way back here. I was at the very end of the platoon, and I'm right there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's me. And it was so funny, the day that we took these pictures, first of all, they told us not to smile. Look at that. She got in big trouble. Anybody who smiled got in big trouble. I tried to do like a little smile, so I could be like, no, that's just my face. But like, I could hear my mom saying smile, but I didn't want to get in trouble, so it was kind of like a half smile type thing. But yeah, they told us no smiling. It's not allowed. Marines don't smile because Marines don't have emotion. But the day that we did this, you see this uniform thing that we're wearing? It's not a uniform. It's literally a sheet that they put over your shoulders. And then this hat, that is like the biggest hat ever. They only had 2 hats. They had a large hat and a medium hat, and for all the recruits. And it was my time to take a picture. So I was like, this hat is too big for me. And they were like, well, too bad, the medium hat's being taken, so you're just gonna have to deal. So they had, because it wouldn't fit on my head, so they had to shove paper in there. So I have a big wad of like paper just crumpled up. So funny. But like, you wouldn't know from looking at this, right? But yeah, see all these people, like, mine is like page, and it's like, maybe this many people actually graduated. Like, there was not that many at all. But when you put them all in the same, like, thing walking, it probably looked like a lot because it was this platoon plus this platoon, so. Okay, now see, this is what I was talking about. How we have pictures in here, but they're all just in black and white. Now, they did take lots of pictures. They didn't put that many pictures in here, and these are pictures of both platoons, both of them. And I'm only in here twice, and like, I don't look good in either of them. And I think they're in the back. Yeah. See, it's like really hard to even see these pictures. You think they would have had better quality. Here we go. And there I am, right there, with my mouth hanging open, like, what? This was the rappelling. They were trying to tell us how to do the rappelling, because you have to hold the rope, like, you're not attached to it at all. You have to hold the rope, and then you have to hold the rope behind you in a certain way, and then rappel. There's no, like, safety equipment, so it's, like, real kind of scary. You have to, like, wrap it around you in just a specific way. I don't know. Anyway, but there's me with my little safety helmet. And my glasses and my mouth is just wide open like, what? I put that over there because you can see my last name. But I'm just like, what? Of course, that's the picture that they get of me, right? Oh, and then here's another one of me. There's me right there. Look, a big, giant, tough, scary Marine, right? Look at how tiny I am. Oh my gosh, so funny. But anyway, I think that's it. Yeah. So that is it. I was so excited that I was able to find my Marine yearbook, though. So, anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.